Aldous Huxley quotes. Facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored. Words can be like X-rays. If you use them properly, they'll go through anything. You read and you're pierced. After silence, that which comes nearest to expressing the inexpressible is music. But I don't want comfort. I want God, I want poetry, I want real danger, I want freedom, I want goodness. I want sin. You shall know the truth and the truth shall make you mad. Maybe this world is another planet's hell. The more powerful and original a mind, the more it will incline towards the religion of solitude. If one's different, one's bound to be lonely. I want to know what passion is. I want to feel something strongly. I wanted to change the world. But I have found that the only thing one can be sure of changing is oneself. An intellectual is a person who has discovered something more interesting than sex. One believes things because one has been conditioned to believe them. There are things known and there are things unknown, and in between are the doors of perception. That men do not learn very much from the lessons of history is the most important of all the lessons that history has to teach. I am I, and I wish I weren't. The secret of genius is to carry the spirit of the child into old age, which means never losing your enthusiasm. I like being myself. Myself and nasty. Chronic remorse, as all the moralists are agreed, is a most undesirable sentiment. If you have behaved badly, repent, make what amends you can and address yourself to the task of behaving better next time. On no account brood over your wrongdoing. Rolling in the muck is not the best way of getting clean. Experience is not what happens to a man, it is what a man does with what happens to him. Most human beings have an almost infinite capacity for taking things for granted. Most men and women will grow up to love their servitude and will never dream of revolution. Every man's memory is his private literature. Happiness is not achieved by the conscious pursuit of happiness, it is generally the byproduct of other activities. All that happens means something, nothing you do is ever insignificant. Consistency is contrary to nature, contrary to life. The only completely consistent people are the dead. There is only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and that's your own self. No social stability without individual stability. To travel is to discover that everyone is wrong about other countries. I'd rather be myself, he said. Myself and nasty. Not somebody else, however jolly. That all men are equal is a proposition which at ordinary times no sane individual has ever given his assent. I ate civilization. It poisoned me, I was defiled. And then, he added in a lower tone, I ate my own wickedness. Man is so intelligent that he feels impelled to invent theories to account for what happens in the world. Unfortunately, he is not quite intelligent enough, in most cases, to find correct explanations. So that when he acts on his theories, he behaves very often like a lunatic. Chastity, the most unnatural of all the sexual perversions, he added parenthetically, out of. Ironically enough, the only people who can hold up indefinitely under the stress of modern war are psychotics. Individual insanity is immune to the consequences of collective insanity. Reality, however utopian, is something from which people feel the need of taking pretty frequent holidays. A really efficient totalitarian state would be one in which the all-powerful executive of political bosses and their army of managers control a population of slaves who do not have to be coerced, because they love their servitude. Every man with a little leisure and enough money for railway tickets, every man, indeed, who knows how to read, has it in his power to magnify himself, to multiply the ways in which he exists, to make his life full, significant, and interesting. The propagandist's purpose is to make one set of people forget that certain other sets of people are human. One of the principal functions of a friend is to suffer, in a milder and symbolic form, the punishments that we should like, but are unable, to inflict upon our enemies.